In service businesses, the work does not only happen on the job site. It continues through estimates, approvals, change orders, extra work, scheduling, payment follow-ups, and final invoices. But for many contractors, those steps are still spread across emails, text messages, spreadsheets, PDFs, calendars, and separate tools. That makes it harder to see what has been approved, what still needs attention, what is scheduled, what has been paid, and what is still waiting to be collected. WorkScope brings the entire workflow into one connected workspace, from the first estimate to final invoice. WorkScope starts with a simple structure: clients, projects, and the work connected to them. First, you create a client record, so the right contact information, decision maker, email, phone number, and project history stay in one place. Then you create the project. Each project becomes the central record for the job, where estimates, change orders, extra work, approvals, schedule blocks, payments, and final invoices all stay connected. So instead of searching through old emails or separate files, your team can open the project and see the full operational picture. When new work needs to be prepared, you create a ticket. A ticket can be an estimate, a change order, or extra work. This makes it easier to separate the original scope from changes and additional work, while still keeping everything tied to the same project. Inside the ticket, your team can describe the work, add customer-facing details, attach evidence or supporting files, and prepare the pricing. For quick jobs, you can enter a simple final price. For more detailed jobs, WorkScope includes an internal estimate calculator. This lets your team build the price privately using labor, materials, equipment, subcontractors, or other costs. You can calculate the real cost behind the work, save that calculation to the ticket, and then decide what the customer should see. Some customers may only need the final price. Others may need a category summary. And for projects that require more transparency, you can show a full itemized breakdown. That gives your business control over both sides of the estimate, the internal calculation your team needs, and the clean approval view your customer receives. When the ticket is ready, WorkScope turns it into a structured approval request. Instead of sending loose screenshots, separate PDF files, or long back-and-forth emails, you send one clear approval link tied directly to the project and the ticket. The customer receives a clean approval page where they can review the scope, see the price, download the PDF, and respond. They can approve the request, reject it, or ask for clarification. Every response is recorded back inside WorkScope. That gives your team a clear history of what was sent, what was approved, what needs attention, and what still requires follow-up. Once work is approved, the project can move into execution. WorkScope helps assign projects to the right person and schedule work blocks around that assignment. That means schedules are not treated as a separate calendar disconnected from the project. The work, the person responsible, and the schedule all stay connected. Your team can see what is planned for the day, which projects are assigned, and where scheduling conflicts may exist. WorkScope also keeps the financial side of the project visible. As tickets are approved, the project balance updates. You can see the approved total, how much has been paid, what balance is still open, and which projects still need payment follow-up. Payments can be recorded directly inside the project, with notes, methods, references, and payment history. And when a balance is still open, your team can send payment follow-ups and keep track of when those follow-ups were sent. When the project is ready to close financially, WorkScope helps generate a final invoice. The invoice can be built from the approved tickets on that project, including estimates, change orders, and extra work. You can choose which approved items to include, whether to show detailed breakdowns, and whether payments should appear on the invoice. WorkScope then creates a professional final invoice PDF that can be previewed, downloaded, and sent directly to the client. The final invoice stays connected to the project, so your team can always go back and see what was generated, what was sent, and what the final balance looked like. Behind the scenes, WorkScope also gives you tools to support the way your business operates. You can manage team access, control project assignment, use price book items, adjust email templates, and keep notifications aligned with the workflow. But the core idea stays simple. WorkScope helps contractors manage the job from estimate to approval, from approval to schedule, from schedule to payment, and from payment to final invoice. Everything stays connected to the client and project record. For growing service businesses, that means fewer scattered conversations, fewer missing approvals, fewer unpaid balances slipping through the cracks, and a cleaner customer experience from start to finish. From the first estimate to the final invoice, WorkScope helps your team run every project with more clarity, better organization, and a more professional customer experience.